Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up? It's your boy Alex Wardu, aka Wardu the Dude. This is the MicDrop Podcast. We got a special guest here. I'm gonna call you BlvckTanner.
Yeah, BlxSt. Yeah,
BlvckTanner.
BlxSt is the one. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but yeah,
Oh,
BlxSt here.
okay. Are you like half black, half white? Because that Tanner seems like a white name.
So like with it, I'm black, and then on my mom's side, she's black and Mexican. So with
Okay.
it, she kind of got Tanner, and she just really liked the name, and then yeah, it just kind of stuck. I guess she picked it, and like people are like, oh, like, because whenever I get like phone interviews, they're always like, oh, like Tanner, like nice to meet you, and then I show up, and they're like, you, yeah, which one? They're like Terry Joy. I'm like, no, that's me. Like that's me. So yeah, that's the you. So, but but
Okay.
yeah, so black and Mexican.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Shit. Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Drop the Damn Mic. Follow us on Instagram at the Mic Drop Podcast. Sometimes we post clips from the interviews and podcasts that we do. So trying to be more consistent with that. Shit. So who is BlvckTanner? Because like I was doing some research on you and shit. I was like, okay, I see that he's a producer, but it's like, okay, what else do you do? Because I saw like you posted a clip of you at like a soccer event or something like that.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
was that? How was that?
So with it, I have to give all my like all the opportunities I got from that. Like that opportunity was through I work as a soccer trainer, so I do private and group trainings. I've been playing soccer since I was about like probably 8 years old, and then played in high school, played like club teams and stuff like that, like all over SoCal and everything, and like trained with college kids and like training them and stuff like that. And then with it, like probably a week or like probably like a few months after the pandemic like kind of hit, where we could kind of start like going into start becoming normal, like wearing masks and stuff like that. One of the kids I trained, her dad is actually like a part of like Adidas like corporate team and everything, like for
Okay.
marketing and events and like stuff like that. And he was like, hey, like uh we need soccer trainers for to run a session. I'm thinking like, okay, it's a session, so like 10 kids, maybe just like at a park or somewhere. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be like an Adidas event. I'm like, oh, like all right, like okay,
Was that the
like,
first time
and
you did something like that?
yeah, that was like the first, like one of the first, like, cause we do like trains and stuff, like with a bunch of kids in like the Los Alamitos area and stuff like that. But like, and we do team trainings here and there, but we don't really do like events like that. Well, I haven't done events like that, but yeah, it was and it was an event in Inglewood, and I'm from I was born in Inglewood, so it was kind of like a full
Okay.
circle moment where it was kind of like an Adidas event, like a clothing brand I've been wearing since I was about like 7, 8, like all
Yeah.
throughout like my childhood. Like everyone in college knew me for wearing like Adidas tracksuits and stuff like that, like all
Mhm.
around campus. And then doing that was just like really like what the heck? Like it was like a full and like cameras there, and like they're like, we're gonna do a commercial, and like we need
Oh,
you in
for
it.
real?
And I'm like, oh, like what? Hey, like I didn't think that was gonna. I thought it was gonna be like a soccer train. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be like anything like that.
That's
And then
crazy.
I posted it on my page and everything, and everyone's like, "Where are you right now? Like, what's going on? Like, how is this happening?" And then but yeah, and then like I met a rapper from England called D Smoke. He's like a rapper I follow too. He had a show on Colors, like the YouTube channel where they perform like a song or whatever. And he's super chill. Like everyone at the event was super professional and like, but like it was still like a fun event. It wasn't like a serious like, all right, we need you to do this. Like, uh,
Yeah.
uh, we need you to do this, and it was more like, oh yeah, like you have full control of like everything. Like you run the sessions, like you can bring somebody to help you out with it, and like it was it was so dope. And like the kids were great. Like they were all like super respectful, nice, like really great players too. And it was just like it was like an event. Like I was like, wow, I want to do like more of this. Like I want to kind of do like
Yeah.
more giving back to the community, and especially it being in England was like a really big like, oh shit, like damn, it was like a really big moment, like kind of like full circle moment that made me like realize I was like, yeah, I want to do more stuff like that. And then with like the music side of stuff, it was kind of a medium D smoke. It kind of like put me on the track of like, yeah, I want to do more music too, and this like, or try to find like that balance in between like with music and soccer with it. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's dope, bro. That's crazy.
yeah,
Crazy how that shit played out, bro.
yeah.
Damn. So where'd you go to school?
I went to school like for high school or just in general
Just in
like
general.
like for most of my life I grew up in Cerritos, like the that area, and then I went to a school in South LA for a bit, like for like 2 years, and then for high school I went to St. John Bosco.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, I went to Bosco, and then after that went to Cypress, and then took like a couple of years there, and then I transferred to the Academy of Arts in San Francisco for music production. And like that was a different experience because that was like the first time on my own, like for like living out the house, like and everything. So it was kind of like a all right, this is cool. Like kind of that was more like my like finding myself as like a music producer, kind of like finding like if I want to do this and like what are the steps I need to complete this, like and kind of do more with this in this field and everything, and be successful with it. And then that like caused me to network, and then like social media became like a bigger thing with it, kind of like reaching out to people who I want to work with and stuff like that, kind of opening my mouth and like being like a networking person, because like I'm so like to myself, where I was like, I gotta talk to people like now. That was a hard. It's still like a hard part now that I'm getting like better at, slowly getting better at with it. So, but yeah, those are kind of like just the schools I went to with it. So.
Okay. Did you you said you went to school for music production. Did you like major in it or did you get like a degree?
Yeah, I majored in it. So like, and then after, because this is when the pandemic was like about to start, and San Francisco was like one of the first cities to like really, really get hit by it. And then, so I just like I went back home and started doing like online classes. I was just like, not for me. Like it was kind of like one of those things like I can't really learn music through like a laptop and someone talking about it. Like and even like in the
Yeah.
classroom setting, like for music, I feel like it's more like an experience, and like I feel like I sound like such an art snob right now. Like I feel like
No, you good. You good.
you gotta experience like a different way, but yeah, like,
I'm the same
but
way.
yeah,
I'm
like
just
I
as
just feel like
passionate. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm like I feel passionate about it, and like with it, I can't learn that through a textbook, because like with it, like I've always learned, like I grew up in church, like and with church music and stuff like that, like all that is feeling, bro. Like there's not really there is structure to it, but like it's more of a like church gospel thing. It's like that's more of a feeling and everything. Like everyone knows that feeling when they're like at a black church, like with it. But with it, with the whole like music and everything, like I was like I feel like I can just learn stuff from like a studio setting. So I kind of like started reaching out to like other people I want to work with, and kind of like finding more about like okay, what about like different DAWs I want to use, like Logic. That's the one I'm using right now, and then like kind of figuring out like what my sound is gonna be like, who I want to work with, and overall just like getting used to being a producer and dealing with like real life things, like setting up studio sessions, setting up all right, like being more like time management, which is like I'm still working on that right now. Like kind of like all right, I have a session here, I got to get here, drive here, and then like I work at that time. Like so, it's just kind of being like a real person, and then also like with your passion with it, kind of like combining the two. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay. Um, did you have any like any favorite artists like that you grew up just listening to that kind of inspired you to get into music production or just music?
So like my like journey for music was kind of like a little bit different, because a lot of it I didn't start listening to rap till I was about like a sophomore or junior in high school. Like so before that, like freshman, like throughout like elementary school, like I would hear like rap songs on the radio, but like most stuff I would listen to was just like alternative rock and like heavy metal. So like I was
Okay.
like Metallica,
Okay.
Metallica,
Okay.
AC/DC, the Beatles, um, Weezer. Like that was like that. I all the majority I listened to, and then like I want to say yeah, probably like sophomore and junior year. Like then that, or no, freshman year is when I kind of like made that little like transition. But I was going into like old school hip hop where it was like Trop Called Quest and like
Yeah.
Lauren Hill and like Rakim. Like it was a bunch of like people. And then I slowly like junior year, like I got cell phones, so that kind of helped too. That was
Yeah.
so with that, I was like able to like have the internet in my hand and everything, so I was able to just kind of look up artists I like right now. Because right now, like I would say like for music, definitely Pharrell plays a big part of like my
Okay.
style and like music, definitely music production like style wise. I really take a lot of inspiration from him, and then like just kind of like that being able to adapt and like try to have your own sound at the same time, but also like curate to like what the artist wants as well with it. So like it's not just me trying to force a vision on their song, but like kind of just like set that platform up for them to sound the best and like with it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's a good one. I fuck with
yeah,
Pharrell. Um,
yeah.
who'd you say? So did you fuck out with like fuck out with Jesus Christ? Did you fuck with Aerosmith, like classical rock too, or was it just
Yeah,
like okay, okay.
all the like from like Aerosmith to Hendrix to like Eric Clapton, like all these like all the people that like, because my dad was in a band. He was in like a rock slash Latin like alternative band with it, and then through that they kind of like put me on different music and like, but like rap was kind of like that thing that my dad like he liked, but like he didn't really, he put me onto it like much later when I was like older. But like most of it was just like I remember like heavily listening to the Beatles for like probably like a lot of like years in school and everything. So that was like the go-to for everything. So and then like I remember my friends would just be like looking at me like, "What are you listening to?" And like, because everyone like has the same music taste as them. I don't give me. They didn't want to give me aux like anytime like ever like just never get aux for those parties. But yeah,
Yeah. Did
but
you
yeah.
so other than soccer, did you play any other sports?
I did track, and then that kind of like fell off because like I started doing more like soccer training, and like track was cool, but I needed the ball at my feet. I couldn't just run like that was
Yeah.
boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like running the 400 was, I hated running the 400 because we need 400 runs. Like I bet you do,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I'm not doing that. I can't. Hell no, I hated that.
I
With
know that feeling because like I was in track my freshman and sophomore year because I actually went to Savannah High School for 2 years.
okay.
And then I moved to Alabama. Then I came back. But when I was in track, bro, that 400, bro, that 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 4x4 was so crazy, bro. That four
Oh
by
my
four.
god, the 4x4, bro.
It's like if you fuck up, like the whole race is fucked up now. It's like, oh
Oh
my
my
god,
god, bro.
that shit was wild.
That, because like I'll tell people about the 400 and just like they're just like, oh, it's not. I don't think it's that bad. I'm like, bro, a full lap of just sprinting. That's no, bro. That is a no go. Like I cannot. Like I commend people for like having PRs and great times with that stuff. But that was not for me like at all. Like I hated
Yeah,
that so much.
yeah, that shit was
But
ass. Let's see. So like, what got you into producing? You know, like 'cause,
uh
I saw you drop like a beat tape a couple years ago. I think it was called Black Lagoon, something like that.
yeah. With it, what got me into producing was so like I want to say probably after I graduated high school, started doing soccer like heavily, like trying to like work out, train as much as possible, and then like playing as well. But and then later that season for my club season, I tore my ACL. And with it, like my ACL, my lateral meniscus were both torn. And then afterwards, we after the surgery and everything, I was just kind of like, I don't want to, I don't want to play anymore. Like I was kind of like, I was really like, that was like probably like I was like down bad, like where I was just like so like I was just like so unmotivated and kind of just like I don't want to play. Like I couldn't do anything. Like after the surgery, like you just have to kind of like lay down and just kind of like rest and like ice when you can. And it was just like I hate, that was like the worst like 6 to 8 months. And then, but during that time, like, I had an iPad and I had GarageBand on it, and I was kind of like, I mean, I'm not really doing anything else like with my time. I might as well just like do something like with it. So started doing that. YouTube tutorials straight away, like on YouTube, like any chance I got, and then like slowly started getting into like when I got back to school, I was like, all right, like I want to actually do something because I feel like I'm kind of like getting better at this and like I'm interested in it as well. So took some classes at Cypress College, and the professor there, he was super like, he was like, yeah, like if you want, you could, he was like, I would ask him a lot of questions like before, after, and during school, like class and everything, and he saw that I was kind of like really like passionate about it. He's like, yeah, like if you want, just get Logic. That's the software we're using right now. I'll set you up with like what speakers to get, what headphones to get, what like keyboard and MIDI setup to get, like, and everything. I was like, all right, thank you. Like, and I kind of got all that, and then started like sending him beats and the kind of just saying like, how does this sound, what can I make this sound better and more professional? Because that's what he did. He was a producer, and like he was producing for like a bunch of artists and everything. And he was like, yeah, like, yeah, do this, do that. And like, it got me more into like, okay, this is like, I want to do this now. Like, I want to like kind of do it. So after that, it became more of me like, being comfortable with making beats, and then kind of just being able to dive in the history of like beat making with like the J Dillas, the Ninth Wonders, the Pharrells, and just kind of getting into that habit of just being a sponge and kind of like soaking up as much information with it, and like producing in different styles, different genres, and like it was really like I think it was like me tearing my ACL was kind of like I wish it didn't happen, but then at the same time, like if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be producing, and I probably wouldn't have like a lot of the opportunities that like I have now, like even if I did with it. So because like if I didn't, I would have went to Hawaii to play soccer there for like a D2 school, and I was like, and like even then, like when I was making that decision, I was like super hesitant about it because I was like, I don't really know anybody out there. I don't even know what the schools look like. I don't know what the team is looking like. I like it was such like a, do you want to go here? Like we're offering you like if you want. And it was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. Like it was something that hold me back like on doing it and kind of going there. And like I mean I feel like it worked out for the best like with it, like with me not going there, and like so.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. That's just I think, and it's rare to find like a teacher that kind of like believes in you and that you're comfortable with enough to like send your beats and stuff. So that's always a plus too.
Yeah.
I saw on your YouTube too that you do beat remixes.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do that, bro?
So a lot of like YouTubers that I watched, like for production YouTubers, they would always say like try to like picture yourself like making beats for artists. Don't just like make beats to make beats. It was kind of like one of those things like they want you to kind of like put like a reference track, like, okay, like if you find an acapella for it, try to build a beat around that acapella. So if you have like a J. Cole like acapella, like try and see if you can make like a beat around that acapella with starting with like a different snare, maybe a different pattern of like drums, or maybe even like a different instruments, like you want to try and like see what they sound like. And what inspired that was just me trying to like emulate like feeling like in certain songs that like maybe I'm feeling about a song, but maybe like that beat didn't like do what I think it was gonna do for that song. Not saying like not dissing anybody for beats or anything, but like I feel like I want to make my like own version of songs like that. And I definitely like remixes. That's what kind of like inspired that, because I would go to a lot of DJ sets and they would do like a lot of remixes for different songs, like popular songs are out, maybe put in like a house beat for a Migos song, and it would be like, what, like, how do you even like think of like doing that, like to even like just match up BPM, like beats per minute and like BPMs and stuff like that, and, like get in the right key, or like transpose it to sound like it's underwater. Like it was like it's so like it's really like just dope, and like that field of like remixes is just like kind of like that, like, oh yeah, like this is your canvas, and like this is just like a template that you can follow, but like you can go outside the box with it. So I wanted to kind of do the same thing with remixes like that. So
Mm. Do you have like any producers in Cali or like in Inglewood that you like that you just want to work with eventually, or kind of
producer in
sticking to
Cali
your
that I want
stuff?
to work with, DJ Mustard is probably like the one
Okay.
I like. I want to for sure work with, like, and everything. Producers right now that I'm trying to think of.
Or they could even be like local like producers that you know in real life.
Mm. Oh, there's a producer that goes by the name of Juicy. I met him in through a friend of a friend at the Academy of Art. I want to work with him as well.
Mm.
Um, and let's see, I'm drawing a blank on that, but DJ Mustard is probably like a big one that I want to work with. Like, I feel like he kind of like set the tone for like West Coast and stuff like that. Like, I definitely want to work with him for sure. But like,
Definitely,
trying to speak that into existence too, like with it, yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
And then yeah, like also Blxst. Blxst is another. Blxst is another.
Blast. I fuck with Blast.
Blxst is another. So funny story with Blxst. I actually met him at a session, which is kind of funny, like
Oh,
a
for
studio
real?
session with it. So so kind of plugging right now, but my cousin he does clothing. He does a clothing brand called Dirty Laundry, and I actually he made an album or like a project with like a bunch of local artists from like the like SoCal area, like Inglewood, Compton, like just all over LA with it. And then we just all met at his shop that he has, and we all like worked for like a full week of just like 12 to 12 sessions, like full week just making a compilation art like compilation album for the store, because my cousin was always like a big thing of like, I know a bunch of dope artists, so like why am I gonna like play like a Drake or like just like well known artists like on repeat at a store? Like, why don't I just put like all the homies on real quick and like make
Yeah,
a full project with everybody on it, and like and just have that for the shop to be just like looping throughout. I'm like, oh, who's that? Like, oh, is that KB Devon? Like, oh, is that like just like, is that epic? Like it was just like a bunch of local artists that like everyone knows throughout the area, and like we're just trying to all just get like put on with it. And so with it, the first day, like, and then mind you, with these sessions, like didn't have a car at the time, so like I was just Ubering and lifting from like from from school, and then with it, for those like 12 to 12 sessions, I was there the entire time, like with it. Like if I was making beats, I was just in the room and I'm talking to people, trying to just like hear stuff. And then but with it, I was in school during this time, but I kind of said like I made up excuses like every day to not go to school, like telling like email my professors like, hey, like something happened, I'm not gonna be here for like a week. And they're like, oh, like definitely come in, like yeah, sure, like. And like I just didn't go to school for that like entire week, like at all, like.
for real.
And because I really I just really wanted to be there, like, and experience that, because I like the first day I went, it was just like I was like, bro, this energy in here, like I don't know what it is, but I need more of it. Like I just need to be here, like whether I'm not making stuff or I am, like I just need to be in the same room with the same like talented people with it. And so with it, the first day, I go in and it's like a bunch of rappers, artists, like producers, videographers, photographers, like everyone, anybody's in there, like with it. And so I listened to Blxst, but like I had never seen his face. I just listened to music with it. Like I was just kind of like, I
Mm.
never like realized like what his face looked like. And then I so I see him on the laptop, and he's making a beat for which is the single for the first single that was played for the album, or the single for the album. And he's making a beat for it. And then like I just see everyone around him writing, like writing to it, like writing like verses, like and everything. Like it was so competitive. Like everyone went and I didn't know, and he was like, it looked like he was about to, like rap it with a beat, and I was like, I asked him for the aux, and he was like kind of like looked at me, he was like, yeah, bro, go ahead, like yeah, sure, and then he like got up and like left, like I was like, all right, cool, like, and everyone was like, oh, what the fuck? Just asked the aux for black, like we were like still writing to it, like what do you mean, like. And like, I mean, he gave it up, and then I was just like, all right, like, bet, like, plugged in and started playing my shit, and then so like everyone kind of like went into, because there was like two rooms, like one room like for people to make beats and have the speakers at, and then the other room was like where everyone recorded. And so like a dude ran in and he was like, "Hey, is Blxst in here?" I'm like, I think I would have knew if Blxst was in here, like, and he was like, I was like, nah, he's not here, and he was like, oh, all right, like, I just saw someone post on the story that like he was in here, so I just like came in here real quick, and I was like, nah, he's not here, and then like the homie walked out of the recording room, and he was like, oh, bro, like, you want to hear the recording? Like they're about to start. I was like, all right, I'll be there in a second, and then he was like, yeah, Blxst is in there too. I was like, wait, what? I was like, hold on, like what? Oh, that was okay. I felt kind of dumb. I was like, damn, I just ripped the aux from Blxst. Like I didn't mean to do that. Like I felt so bad. I was like, cause like I didn't kill the vibe, but it was kind of like more the thing. Like everyone's kind of like, all right, like I guess like he's done with the beats. Like we'll leave him with the speakers, and then I was me just happy having the aux, like just plugging up and just
was
like
it mad
beats,
quiet in there?
like
After
like after I took the aux, or
yeah.
there were like a few people hanging around, but like everyone pretty much like left and went to the other room, like to hear him everyone record onto the beat he made. But like it was just funny because it was just like everyone like just like went to the other room, and I was just like in here with speakers, just like, all right, I'm happy, like I'm making beats, like I'm fine, like I was just and the homie was like, oh yeah, like that was Blxst. I was like, oh, for real, like I had no idea, but like I listened to his music like all the time, but I really didn't know his bass. I was just like,
yeah,
all right, like so, and then it was just not funny, but like seeing him work in that setting was such like I was like, bro, this is like he's really on it. Like he's making melodies, making counter melodies, like everything that people are saying about him now, like I've seen firsthand, and it was just like, bro, damn, like. Bro, it's like crazy how much work he puts in for those like sounds and that like feeling, that like West Coast feeling that you feel every time you hear a song from him. It's just like he definitely knows like how to like orchestrate that and like and apply it to his beats and everything, and for the artist as well. So
yeah,
but
that's talented. When I heard him on that
yeah,
that Die Hard record on that Kendrick album, I was like, damn, this shit hard.
yeah. Yeah, and then seeing him be on like on the album for Kendrick was like a big like, oh shit, like, well, it's like that's real, like that's like
The
someone
price
from
went up.
like, yeah, like definitely, bro. Like I was like, man, he can charge whatever he wants now, like for like anything. So I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good. So you come back to this shit and be like, yo, I stole the aux from Blxst. Now I'm dead, bro.
But he was like hella like he was hella like he was just like, yeah, sure, bro, like fuck it, like you got like I guess. So it was just like,
you seem like a really humble dude though. So
no, yeah, like with it, like I've never, like everyone says like, bro, you don't really like talk more about like your like things that you do, which is crazy because like when the Adidas thing happened, like everyone was texting me like, bro, like the ad keeps popping up for me on Instagram. Like it keeps showing up like randomly, like through I'm scrolling, and then like it keeps popping up, like, and I was like, bro, like that's crazy. Like I still look at it as like I wasn't there. Like I just like I was there to play like soccer and just like have fun. And like I didn't see it as like a huge like, oh my god, like I'm an Adidas ad, like everyone should like watch it. Like I didn't really like promote it. I probably like posted like just that one clip, and I was just like, all right, like that's fine, like with it. So, but yeah, and then like also with like that album for the compilation album, like I had 3 beats that I made on that album, and I was like, bro, like 3 placements, that's kind of like crazy a little bit. Like I was like for a bunch of like producers that were in there that were super talented, like three placements was actually really good, like for it, like for my like first like project or first like making beats in that setting. Like I've never done that before, like being on a project for that. So
Yeah, especially for a big artist like that. That's wild, bro. That's
yeah,
crazy.
and
Did
just being like in that room with everybody in there was like really crazy with it.
when did that like realization that like I just made beats for like a big artist, like is that like a big thing to you, or you just like it is what it is?
Cause like with it, like I would love to get like maybe like a beat with Blxst or something like that. But like with it, that like realization of like making beats and being in the same like room and like being in the same like being able to have like artists tell me like, yo, this is sick, like, and like I was like, dang, bro, like, okay, like I think I'm doing something right. I hope I'm doing something like you sure? Like are you
Yeah,
you're sick, like you're not lying, right? Like
yeah.
no, bro, it's hard, like bro, it was crazy, like what the like this came out of nowhere because the song Dumb on the album's called Play Dirty, and the song Dumb on there, I sampled it, made the drums for it in like a span of like maybe 30 minutes, like, and then set everything and like arranged it, and then everyone just like, bro, all right, let's record this now, like, and then I had the homies Epic Must Die, he's a really good rapper, and then Dirty Dale, who's another rapper that like I listen to heavy, and like is one of the homies. I met him during those sessions, and like he was just like, all right, bro, let's record this right now. Like I'm like, wait, right now, right now? He's like, bro, yes, right now. Like the studio's here, like we have the time. Like I'm here, I want to rap. Like, and he's always down to rap and like just rap over everything. Anything that sounds good to him, he's rapping on. Like, and then also with that, Dumb and Figure It Out. Figure It Out is actually where I met Quincy Beats and then Dale as well. And then Dale's brother, Jazzy, or his name is Ankle Sandwich. That's what that's what his rapper name is, like, and DJ name. He's a rapper and a DJ, and his name is Ankle Sandwich. It's the funniest thing ever. Like, but I met the three of them in those sessions, and we made Figure It Out that day. With Aries, who does the hook for that song, and like just meeting everybody and having that realization for that first song, because like those sessions for me was super like, oh damn, I gotta talk to people, I gotta like show like people like what I can do, and like at that time, this is when like I came back from San Francisco, and like I was like I still wanted to do music, but I didn't know how to like go about it, and then I saw like the Dirty Laundry post kind of saying like, hey, we're having sessions, like come down if if you get the invite and everything. Like I got the invite, and it was kind of like one of those things, like on that first day, like, or that day that the first 2 days of that week-long session, like my laptop wasn't working. I only had beats on like I had like my hard drive wasn't working, my laptop was being weird, and like those first 2 days were terrible. I was just a fly on the wall at that point. Like I like had no contributions to like anything. Then like third or fourth days where I met everybody like Dale, Quincy, Jazzy, and Aries and like Epic, and like then that's when we made Figure It Out. I played Dale the beat, and like he was like, bro, who made this? Like I was like me, I made it. Like and that's like made it. Like he was like, bro, I need like bro, and he just started freestyling over it, and like everyone started like freestyling over it, and like, oh yeah, like let's record this right now, like right now, because like I think it was like probably like the last like hour of the session where like everybody was kind of like, all right, like what are we on? Like, do we got any more beats? Or I'm about to go home. Like everyone just like got like a revamp of energy, like bro, let's now, bro, like we need to record this now. Like we need to do this right now. Like Dale was on it. He hopped on, did his verse. Aries killed the hook, and like it was just like an overall. I was like, bro, like seeing them record over my beat and stuff like that. It was just like, bro, this is sick. But then it was also like a thing where it's just kind of like, bro, it's like a platform for you guys, like and everything. Like, yeah, I did the beat and everything, but like it's to get all of them like their kind of like way to express themselves. Like I express myself through that beat with it, like with it. So I want to be able to like express myself and then give them the opportunity to kind of talk their shit or like do whatever how they're feeling, like and be able to provide that like kind of platform and that stage for them as well with it. So
that's dope. That's dope.
yeah.
Damn, I didn't know all that. That's crazy. So you work with
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was dope though.
Okay, so like shit. What else is what can we expect from BlvckTanner in the future? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely more music. Like I think like right now, I'm working with a lot of people that I met in SF. So I'm really tapping into like NorCal and like a lot of the friends that I made up there. I'm definitely tapping in with, and then just kind of like a lot of music drops. Like definitely with like artists and stuff. Like definitely like producing a lot of joints with like a lot of people, a lot of dope people, and like these guys that I met like all over, like just know that like hella talented, like you're definitely getting high quality music and like definitely you'll see the passion in like everyone, including myself, with it because it's just like it's stuff like music I take really seriously and like really passionate about because it's really like it's kind of like the expression. Like I don't have that expression like with a lot of things I did. Soccer is one of them, kind of, but like I couldn't really express myself fully like with that. But with music, like I can definitely like if I'm feeling the type of way, I'm making this type of beats, and then like talking to the artist, being like, this is what I was going with, like for the beat. Like, do you feel like you might match it? If not, like I can make another one. But like I try to give them the stage for it, and then I'll also like with it. Another thing to expect is like I definitely want to do probably another beat tape with it, whether it be Black Lagoon 2 or something totally different, maybe a different genre with it. I don't want to like put myself in a box with like only making like lo-fi or stuff like that, but I want to kind of do everything with it. Like I don't want to be known as a producer as like, oh yeah, like Tanner makes like lo-fi and like boom bap. Like that's kind of it. But like I want to
Would you
like
say that like that's your type of beat making, like lo-fi?
I like it a lot. I would say that's like kind of my like go-to. But recently, like it's been like a lot of like drill lately. Like a lot of drill. Like I've been making like a lot of UK drill because like that's one of the genres that like I kind of got into. Because I listened to like a lot of UK music. Like with it, that was kind of like one of the like because through like people like Skepta, who else?
Like Dave.
AJ Tracy, Slow Tie, like a lot of like UK people like I watch because like I mean watching soccer and then like music is kind of like it's tied between each other. So like like you see soccer players posting like drill music. All right, let me tap in because like I fuck with the soccer players. So like let me see what he's about and everything. So but yeah, like I'd say things to expect is a lot of music drops to a lot of people, like a lot of people that probably you haven't heard of, but like you will hear eventually kind of talked about and everything. And yeah, just a lot of music. I think a lot of music with it. So I want to do that. So yeah, a lot of music.
Okay. All right. Shit. Last question before we leave.
All right.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
Who's your favorite soccer player and your favorite soccer team?
Well, I am an Arsenal fan. Unfortunately,
I'm
I
a
am
Chelsea
unfortunately.
fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. Oh my god, this man right here.
I am an Arsenal fan, unfortunately. Soccer player, right now or just overall, like, because
It could be both.
okay. My favorite player of all time is Thierry Henry. So he's my favorite player. And then right now, probably, right now, Probably Mbappe. Yeah.
I
Mbappe
was
is
just
probably my
thinking
favorite
about
player.
Mbappe. I had a feeling you were gonna say
Yeah,
Mbappe
it's
for
like
some reason.
I
Yeah.
like honestly, I just like the way he plays and just like how talented he is, and then just seeing him like he actually got rejected from Chelsea when he played
Yeah,
for their academy, and he was like they were like we don't trust him, he's a great offensive but he doesn't get back on defense, and I was like, oh really, like
I've heard about that.
uh,
Yeah, I've heard about that.
so
Yeah, that's why I wasn't too mad
yeah.
about it.
Mm,
Hey man,
yeah.
tell the people where to find you. You know what I'm saying? BlvckTanner, all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know where to find you, bro.
Yes, sir. So BlvckTanner, you see the name at the at right there with it. At BlvckTanner on Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, all the social platforms. I have it on there as BlvckTanner with it. So definitely be posting more on the YouTube as well, because I might go into tapping into another passion of mine is anime. So I'll be tapping into that.
Okay.
Definitely gonna be making more YouTube videos and everything with that. So a lot of stuff I'm kind of like preparing for, kind of dropping like more content wise, definitely, because I've been lacking on that a little bit. I've been kind of getting too relaxed with it, but now it's time to like kind of tap in. Make sure to follow MicDrop Podcast as well.
Hey, you
And
know what I'm
everything like
saying?
that.
Come on, man.
Appreciate getting on and everything.
Of
Appreciate it and
course,
everything.
bro. Because I always be seeing you on my
Definitely want to
IG
do
and
more.
everything.
Definitely want to do more.